It is the year 2005. The treacherous Decepticons have conquered the Autobots' home planet of Cybertron.
Now return you to the Children of Primus.
Welcome.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. Welcome to another Children of Primus's Frenzy Freestyle Sunday. So we say what's up to James Coleman. Hey guys, the countdown to TFcon begins. The Deceptikitty says, hey, James. And James says, hey, Micah. And how's it going, Mr. Magnus? And Toy Warp hiding in the background there somewhere.
Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
We can hear you.
Outstanding. Okay. Just want to point out that Retro Blasting, one of my favorite toy reviewers on YouTube, just reviewed the original Transformers cardboard Autobot base. Really cool review, so probably want to go check that out.
Nice. Don't you also have the cardboard base?
I have the cardboard base that was the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive from 2013. This is the original.
Okay.
The original G1 released in 1985 cardboard base. Bet you didn't even know it existed, huh?
Exactly. Which he said I watched that today and it's so cool.
There was the cardboard base that was available in stores. Only larger retailer stores usually carried it. However, the video taught me something new because it's great still learning stuff about G1, but there was a cardboard kind of like command center that was available through the Transformers Club back in the 80s. I had no idea that existed, so it's another thing that's got to go on the list.
I know exactly the thing you're talking about, the stars thing, right?
Yep.
Anthony, tell them what I said.
Jess was over there, and she was like, "Oh, I'm not sticking around. I'm going into the other room." And I was like, "Oh, you don't want to listen to me?" And she's like, "I live with you. I don't need to listen to more Transformer stuff."
If I'm not mistaken, our seller that has the big booth where I get some of my stuff at the Collector's Mall has the cardboard base that you're talking about.
Oof. I need the price is ridiculous because cardboard obviously isn't going to stand very good test of time over the period of 40 years, but I'd still like to have it.
Speaking not Transformers wise, but something that I looking into anyway. And I'm looking into this for you, Toy Warp. If I find it and it's reasonable, I will be contacting you. There's a guy in town that has the main body of the USS flag, and he wants a gun.
Main body, so not a whole lot of accessories with it, or
I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, it was a rumor that floated around this weekend at the car show. And then a buddy of mine came up and talked to me about it. And when I went over there, him and his car were gone. So I'm tracking him down. I know what lot he was in. I've got his phone, his contact information, but he hasn't called me back yet. I left a message.
It's like genuine skullduggery here.
Yeah,
What's going on? I need to track him.
Which that's the good part about running the car shows is when you register a car, you put your phone number and your address and everything down in case you win a prize.
It's just the lengths that are being gone to.
Did he ask he wants what?
Toy Warp wants an original USS flag, but of course they're thousands and thousands of dollars right now, and there may be one here. And like I said, I'm catching this, somebody said that this guy down here has one in his basement and he wants it taken out because it's huge is what they said.
Yeah.
And it's the only thing I could think of. It's a G.I. Joe toy that's too big for him to just pick up and move out.
Yeah. I mean,
Wow.
isn't it supposed
So
to be coffee table
don't get your
sized?
hopes up. It may be a ghost chase.
That's a weird conversation to have at a car show.
Well, it's because my car has an Autobot logo, and they were talking about that.
Weird.
My motorcycle has the big Autobot logo on the front of it. They were talking about that, and he said, "Well, if you know anybody that wants to get some GI Joe parts, I've got a great big battleship in my basement that needs to be gone."
Why can't I ever run into that?
It's 'cause
I know
you live
why.
in the place. You live in Florida.
Yeah. Most of the old people, when they move down here, they dump all that kind of stuff up north before they come down. Yes, I know. It is very difficult to find stuff like that down in Florida.
The place where I live at is where people have these barn finds, where they find a 1957 Corvette with 19 miles, where their son bought it and then went to war and never came home, and they
love
just
that
parked
song.
it in the barn.
Wow.
There's thousands of stories like that. I've got a friend of mine over in Ohio County that has a garage, and in that garage he has 3, like, I don't remember, I don't know what year it was, but in one year the Dodge Challenger only came out in a convertible, like 120 models of it. Just the frame of that car is worth like $100,000. Just the frame.
Oh yeah, muscle car stuff right now is just so ridiculous.
He has 3 of them. He has 3 complete ones in his barn.
Oh jeez.
Jeez.
They were there when he bought the property.
Oh.
One of them runs.
Oh.
I hate you. I mean, what?
And he's got drywall stacked on the other 2.
That's
To him, it doesn't have a value because it didn't have a value when he bought it. Just sitting there.
That's
It's a work table.
Happen.
It's a work table. Jeez.
Quickly catch up on the comments. Professor D says, but for how much? I guess you don't know yet. Freaking Stan says, what up, y'all? I replied to D, it's $2,000 according to,
$2,000.
Somewhere around $2,000. At least $2,000.
And it says, oh, it weighs a ton. That's why it may be a flag. And James Coleman says, I had a mail order package on my birthday in 1985. Got the watch, drill power dasher, and the Omnibots. Best gifts ever.
Wow, that's so awesome stuff in the mail.
Oh, yeah.
He says, I thought Magnus said he had a flag and he wanted a gun for it.
Well, it was somebody send this man a Megatron.
Mm-hmm.
I do have flags and guns here. That's
James Homer says, yo, Prof, Ian Freakenstein. Freakenstein says 5 more days, bots. He's referring to TFcon Toronto, which we will be there, and we will have our Children of Primus lounge of selling toys, doing a live stream. We'll also have a video game, which is connected to a panel that's happening on this Sunday. And Professor D says, sup, James, looking forward to hanging with you and next week. And let's see. James says, you know what, bros? And as I was sharing this stream that we're going to be there on the weekend, one of the Facebook groups, one of the members said he's flying out tomorrow, so he can be he can be here for TFcon.
And my buddy that picked me up that thing from TFcon or BOCKCon. I'm sorry, it's BOCKCon Fort Wayne, not TFcon. BOCKCon Fort Wayne, Indiana. So this is it.
Those are YOLO Park model kits of Sunstorm and whatever they're calling the Blue Optimus. What do they call on this one? Oh yeah, Delta Magnus.
Delta Magnus.
Yeah. That's such an interesting thing for them to do. I think this is the first time, because BotCon's not official anymore, but this is the first time since they went unofficial that they've had official merchandise, which is like very unusual for them. I mean, it's third party, but it's like licensed third party.
And Mr. Ninjatron in the house saying, hey guys. Hey, hey Ninjatron, how's it going? And are you going to be there for next weekend?
Oh, fucking right.
I was going to say, I looked at the schedule and I saw what looks to be a repeat of that History of Ninja video, but it's going to be on Friday instead of on Sunday. So I don't know if it's the same one or if he's made any alterations to it. Maybe you can sound off in the comments. But that was very entertaining, and if anybody's there on Friday and wants to have a look, I highly recommend showing up. As somebody that saw it on Sunday last year. It's a very, very well-made presentation.
Oh, yes, it was. Freakenstein says, I wish they would put out the 3D TFcon Toronto exclusive already.
Oh, yeah, they put these right down to the wire. So they did the first one. They just unveiled the second one, and presumably there's going to be at least one more. So the first one... Yeah, today we're going to go through the whole schedule and send people to key panels, including Ninjatron. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So the first one is, well, I mean, there's probably a link there. It's by Fans Hobby, who did the Stalker that I picked up last year, and it is their version of the European Decepticon Clench from the early 90s. So like a masterpiece scale version of him. But to create him, yeah, there, it's about to load up. There he is. They extensively retooled their Armada Optimus that they did. So it's kind of a funky looking exclusive because I'm like, it's Armada Optimus's body with Clench's head and in those crazy European colors. Yeah. I love the Stalker that they did last year. I have him over in the other corner. It's too buried for me to grab him this second, but Fans Hobby makes good figures, so this guy will probably be good as well. They gave him a brand new trailer. Like, that's a whole new tooling. The front's old, but like the back's new.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I guess once it loads, the second exclusive that they did is very strange, and I'm not sure what the idea is supposed to be. It is a Make Toys Seeker. Like, they've done a lot of those over the years. They have a G1 Seeker mold they make a lot of, and it's a light blue one. And some people are like, is it supposed to be Bitstream? Is it supposed to be a generic Seeker? We're not sure. Like, it's not purple like the Air Warrior was. It's like light sky blue. Yeah, the picture's not loading, but they have the text about it. They call it Moody Blue.
Maybe refresh there because the picture should be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
taking a minute to load.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So actually, once it loads in, I'll bring it back in.
It's a very Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Do you guys have a schedule yet for TFcon? Because
yes, we do.
I was seeing in all the groups that, man, everyone's screaming for a schedule and there wasn't one to be had. So
just got posted like a couple days ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
it's late, and it's still tentative, so things might change. There's supposedly another guest that hasn't actually been announced yet, But
Fascinating.
still waiting to see.
And
See,
Ninja says yes, people will get a second chance to see the secret of the Ninja Transformers.
yeah, there it is. If you're there Friday, go look at it.
5 p.m.
Yeah, and
right
make
at the start of the
toys.
con.
Yeah.
Who's I know Victor Corelli's going to be there. Who else is going to be there from G1?
Well, Stan Bush, the musician, you got the touch, and Bob Budiansky, the Marvel guy, and
The god of Transformers, basically, in the sense that he created most of it.
Spaghetti, what does Stan Bush sing? What song?
Yeah,
I don't think any of us knew that.
Deceptikitty?
What song?
Did I have to remind you? I'm sorry.
No, we just wanted to hear you sing it.
Oh, you got the touch. You got the power.
Yeah.
Go. Still haven't seen Boogie Nights yet.
Me neither, but I saw the little clip because it's easily YouTubeable.
Mm-hmm.
And Victor Corelli, and then of course Simon Furman, which is awesome.
Yeah.
That Simon Furman and Bob Budiansky are going to be there, like the two god writers of Transformers.
Yeah.
And
They're doing a panel together, apparently.
Oh, cool! Awesome. We have some artist guests from IDW. There's Alex Milne, who's always there. Andrew Griffith. And then there's Livio Raimondelli. He's first time coming to TFcon. And he's a very cool, unique artist.
There's a G1 voice actor there too. I forget his name offhand though. It's a race to see who can find it first.
Yeah.
Well, I will pull up the schedule and actually go back to the one image. And just before that, get to the comments. James Coleman says, "Hey Ninjatron, good to hear from you. Tell Goober I said hello, and I'm not sure how his name is described." Freakenstein says, "Just need Ocular Max Mastermind Creations." And Ninjatron replies, his name is Goober, but he is a goober.
Yeah.
He's just a bag of energy. He's funny. He's just cool and funny to hang out with. Professor D, I can tell you the point of that color for a seeker. And James Coleman says, "Yeah, but he's our goober."
Goober's so great.
Oh, okay. So this is an important one. There's two Beast Wars voice actors there, Gary Chalk and Ian James Corlett.
Yeah, Gary Chalk.
Yeah, Gary Chalk was Optimus. Ian James Corlett was Cheetor. So the main guy and the Kid Appeal character. So they're there and they're doing a panel.
Somebody has to be walking around handing him a guitar at some point.
Yeah, Terry McGovern is the other G1 voice actor that's going to be there. He did a bunch of characters. It's like too many to quickly list off.
Professor D says, "Stan Bush and I are going to do a duet."
Yeah.
So Stan Bush sang a song on a Sailor Moon album.
I know about that. It's surprising because Jess bought that album because she found it at a used store, and we were driving in the car and listening to it, and it's a bunch of like Sailor Moonish songs, and then one starts and listening. Is that freaking Stan Bush? It's very of the same other. It's called I think it's called She's Got the Power, and it's the same sort of thing he does for Transformers. Nice. And it was just like, oh my gosh.
That's so cool connection. Sailor Moon.
Yeah, I think it was from one of the movies. Again, as obviously, when they did the English dub, they put in new songs.
Mm-hmm. And Professor D says, "To make up for the songs I did about the other Bushes," which now I understand the reference. So,
yeah. One thing I'm doing here as we talk is there it is. There's the other guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nobody's quite sure what this guy's deal is supposed to be. I'm like, good if you collect Seekers. Maybe if the color palette really appeals to you. This, I'm like, whatever. I always get one of these. I don't think it's going to be this one, but if it appeals to you, great.
220 Canadian.
Yeah, that's about right. This guy's Masterpiece scaled.
Is he? Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is their take on a Masterpiece Seeker, basically. I used to have their a G2 Starscream version of this.
So there's been a call for dulling the colors. Like children's toys have always been very bright colors. It attracts kids. But to recycle plastics with all these colors, it's very, very difficult. So there's been recently a call, what do you call it? Environmental lobbyists saying that we should start using duller colors or less colors, faded colors like this, which is like white and lighter blue, which at some point this can be recycled into other plastics. So I'm all for the duller colors. In fact, today I saw a yellow Volkswagen drive by, and it was like it looked like a popsicle pea. You know, it was like a frozen yellow color. And I'm totally down with that. I'm totally down with the duller colors. Things don't have to be so bright anymore. You know, save it for the off, you know, one-off character and let them have the G2 colors. But yeah, let's just see what we can do with duller colors and yeah, I'm all for this. I'm all for it.
Well, James says, Dan is saying she's got the power, and that song suits the Sailor Guardians well.
Yeah, it was
He
the
says,
same job he typically does, i.e. great.
cool.
So
Well, Professor, he says, to Fear, you are not listening about the Seeker color. This is
Really?
the most important Seeker color of all time from the very first 3 episodes. This is the color we never got.
Is it now?
Is this one of the Rainmakers? I'm watching actually the G1 episodes right now. Is he one of the Rainmakers? Maybe he is.
If it's from the first few episodes, it would presumably be either a part of the welcoming committee or one of the generic Seekers that were out and about the next couple episodes.
Well, freaking
It's from the original G1 intro. When they land, it's not Skywarp that's running behind Starscream. It's Starscream, Thundercracker, and that guy. They later corrected it, but the original first show, the first intro, had a light powder blue jet running alongside Thundercracker instead of Skywarp.
Really? Okay, so that's an interesting deep cut then. Yeah. That is making me sort of revise my opinion here. Nothing makes people happier than like deep cuts when it comes to this stuff.
That's good.
Well, he shows up in another episode. He's standing on the bridge on Cybertron whenever somebody loads in from the space bridge. I don't know that he was ever given a name. I always called him the what was it, Cloud Cover? Or no,
Cloud Cover, yeah.
Nacelle. Nacelle's the light blue one.
Yeah.
But he's got Dirge's body style.
Frankenstein says, watch that Seeker will be the most wanted after the con, and Buttheads will be putting it on eBay for like $700. I don't think it's limited to just that.
It's Cloud Cover that's that color.
Mm-hmm.
That's what a lot of people do. You go there, you pick up 2 of the exclusives, you sell one, you pay off the hotel room, and Bob's your uncle. Like that's kind of what they're there for as well, right? It's incentivizing you to show up to the convention and pay for the entry and buy stuff. But also you get this exclusive or a couple of exclusives that you could turn around and sell.
Yeah, it's a rare year that I don't leave with one, just on general principle as a souvenir. So I think Clench is in the lead right now, but we'll see what the next one is, and also like how much cash I make while I'm there, because I don't want to break the bank on one of these.
Particularly this year, I just want to see what tickles my fancy when I'm there, but I want to pick up a Trailbreaker, particularly because that was there was a story Bryce used to play with the Trailbreaker. That was his vision character. And we're having a memorial for him on Sunday at 8 p.m. also in the panel room. It's going to be a lot of good panels on not Sunday, on Friday. There's going to be a lot of good panels on Friday.
Cool. I'm going to bring the panel up shortly. Professor D says the turquoise Seekers are the first clone Seekers that were on Earth. He also says not the Rainmakers. Megatron is dead. And Paul says, thank you, Hot Rod, for finally listening to your elder for the thing I actually know about. And Freakenstein says, I'm not selling any, but I will buy one extra for my TFcon exclusives for my next giveaway.
So there's a couple of recent Trailbreakers.
Cool.
So I had to look up, I feel bad because I had to look up Terry McGovern. He's credited as voicing Wild Rider. So if you guys find a carded Wild Rider there, I will send funding to have you pick it up and have him autograph it.
Ooh, okay.
Sure.
I mean, good odds that that's there because like well, I mean, I don't know about carded, but somebody got a G1 Wild Rider, I'm certain. But it's probably got to be carded with you, so I'll keep that in mind.
We'll see. Yeah.
Yeah.
James Coleman says I got cloud cover at Walmart for $39. Great figure. But I think one idea that we may try to have is a Lord Chumley character going around TFcon searching for things that may not on the stream. So, you know, Wild Rider may be one of those things that we're searching for.
Just setting up all sorts of bizarre traps.
We almost forgot one special guest that's going to be there is Aaron Archer, the Hand of Primus, who is brand manager of Transformers at Hasbro for the longest time, and he is beginning to be a regular at the convention, which is so great. So he's always on with Proto Man on their podcasts.
Yeah, I saw a really good panel with him one year where he talked basically just about creating the whole Transformers Armada toy line start to finish, which, like, even if you don't know Armada specifically, it was fascinating to listen to because it's just, here's how you make a toy line from conception to, like, execution.
I can't read it without my glasses. What's that Wild Rider going for?
I think it was almost 700.
Well,
this
retail $3.99. Wait,
It used to cost $3.99. Oh, there we go. They're giving us averages down below.
Yeah. So average is $694. And the lowest found was $494.
So $500 to $700 seems to be the range.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What I've been doing as we've been talking is I haven't properly inventoried and priced what I'm selling yet, even though I bagged and tagged it all. So I'm just pulling them out, writing them down in my notebook, and then I'm going to decide some prices. And I've shown this off before, but I stick them on comic book bags and boards so I can line them up on the table and tape them up, and it's like a card back. Yeah. So I'm just going through my boxes and writing down what each of these guys are, and then I'm going to try and figure out a price for each of them, and then that'll be my list that I'll bring with me to the convention.
Cool. Are you going to put it in like a long box and people are going to put it through?
You know, I was thinking about that. I got a couple of the last time I got a mobile grocery order, they gave me 2 long cardboard boxes, and I looked at those and I was immediately like, I know what I can use these for. So that might be what I do. I'll certainly bring them with me and see if I can make it work.
James Coleman saying it's going to be great meeting Terry McGovern at TFcon this year. I hope he's doing well. And Freakenstein says I need fan toys, Dinobot or Giga Power. I think it'd be cool just starting a page somewhere of just what people are looking for. We'll see if we can find it while we're at TFcon. But we do have the schedule up on the screen. But just before we read off the schedule, I'm going to throw this to Magnus and Toy Warp in terms of you guys going to cons or recently being a part of like, being a seller or a presenter. What do you look for? What was your experience, or what should you tell people to look for?
When I go to cons, I love opening ceremonies. I love closing ceremonies because the opening ceremonies tells you the highlights of what they know is going to happen. Closing ceremonies gives you an idea of what's going to happen for next year. That's what I love about going to cons. But I'm an early bird. I like doing my shit early. So let me look at what we got here.
Yeah. So Friday is like the important thing is if you're a civilian, you can't get into the dealer room. The dealer room's just there for vendors who want to set their stuff up.
Okay. Now this Q&A panel with comic book artists Alex Milne, Andrew Griffith, and Livio Rimondelli. I don't know who any of those are.
I know them.
If they were people that I knew, that would be something that I would be interested in.
Yeah, they drew between them probably most of IDW comics when they had the Transformers license.
See, knowing that, then I would go to that.
Yeah, Alex Milne in particular, he was the main artist behind More Than Meets the Eye, which is the one series they put out that was probably the most popular.
I've got
So-
a toy convention this weekend. That's the one that's got Sergeant Slaughter as a guest.
Right.
Oh, sick.
So yeah, that's the big thing for me when it comes to the conventions are usually the celebrity guests. I mean, I'm totally thrilled when it's a TFcon or a BOCKS and I get to meet G1 voice actors, be it for the first or third or fourth time, But yeah, for me, it's somebody that actually had their hand in the show or in the toy making or something like that from G1 that I just couldn't get enough of.
Nice.
Something else that did happen at the con this week. I'm sorry, the con overlapped with all the drama that was going on in my life. You all know about from our thing, and I want to apologize to everybody for my shortness of composure that one night. I've had a lot of personal stuff going on, but at the dealer room, there's this guy that had coins, for your D&D campaigns. Everything, so you could pass them out, so that you could count, people, instead of just keeping it on the thing, you actually had gold coins and silver coins and copper coins, and you could buy them in bulks. And I was looking at the gold coins, and the dragon that was on it is a Larry Elmore dragon, and it says the Elmore on it. And I'm like, oh my gosh! I said, I'm gonna have to get a couple of these coins just because of that. And they're like, oh yeah, then Larry Elmore actually made the artwork for us, and we bought the rights to reproduce. Larry Elmore is my dad's cousin. And I don't know if y'all know who Larry Elmore is. Larry Elmore is the artist for TSR for Dragonlance. All the original Dragonlance cover art was done by my dad's cousin. He did a lot of stuff for D&D and stuff like that.
Nice.
And so I've got a pile of gold coins that have the Elmore dragon. Whenever I told him that, he was like, well, here, man, just take 4 or 5 of them. Just put them in your pocket.
Yeah, when I do meet Sergeant Slaughter, of course I knew Sergeant Slaughter from the G.I. Joe cartoon, but I wasn't allowed to watch wrestling. But I did watch a show called Blood, Sweat, and Gears. It was a VHS, direct-to-VHS thing that where Sergeant Slaughter and a team actually go toe-to-toe and do a tug-of-war with Bigfoot. And it ended up being a tie in the end, but I think I'm probably going to have the only signed copy of this VHS tape in existence after Saturday.
Sounds like a great thing to sign.
Yeah,
No
totally.
kidding. Well, one-ofs are really handy to have. They're really nice.
Yeah. I will say Vangelis's panels, that's Chris Ho. They're always a really fun time. He's you've seen him on YouTube. He's one of the more enthusiastic toy reviewers, and he always puts on these panels that are like thoughtful, but like also kind of silly because he's like a big, loud YouTube personality. And he always gets really philosophical about buying and selling and collecting Transformers. So that's always a fun time. Also, he tends to put them online afterwards, so you can find a bunch of his previous ones on his channel because he records them.
Yeah, Vangelis is.
This just me being me. This thing at 8:15, the Make-A-Wish charity auction. I am a very generous person when it comes to stuff like that right there.
Yeah.
So I would go there with the intent on spending at least $100 to $200. And even if they didn't have anything that I wanted, I would make that donation because I'm a big fan of the Make-A-Wish charity.
Last year was a really exciting Make-A-Wish auction. So we had General Techno design. It was a Cosmos, but he made it out of the Ark, the Titan class Ark.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That went for $3,000. The bidding war was insane. Insane. It was so much fun.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm a member of a live-action role-playing game, a LARP. And back in those days, it was called. It's called MET. It's called Mind's Eye Society, Mind's Eye Theater, and it's a vampire-based game. And when I went to the convention, God, what's been 6-7 years ago? It's the only international, the only ICC that I ever went to, and it was in New Orleans. They had a charity auction, and you could buy stuff. It didn't exist, people. This is for a lot. This is for a stat that's going to be on your piece of paper.
Ooh.
And somebody crocheted this little doily. It was about this big, and it said "FU" on it. Had the word wrote out. And this was going to be the most powerful vampire in the game who plays in Europe. She was going to fly to your domain and walk up to anybody that you wanted to and go, "I'll attend your game a month, your one game a month, and do this." The bidding started at $7,000 because it had to include her round trip airfare and hotel stay for 2 nights. It sold for 15 grand.
Oh,
Now, I love my charity. I love charity, but I got a lot better things I could do with $15,000 than to have somebody come up and go, especially in a game that was going to end in 7 months. It was getting completely rewrote in 7 months.
oh.
Yeah, I will say the thing about the charity auction being on the Friday with me is like I bring a little bit of money with me, but mostly what I spend at the convention is based on what I'm making at the table. So like, if it was on Saturday or Sunday, I would probably spend more money there because I would have more cash on hand. Because that's how I try to exit these conventions in the green, and I'm usually pretty successful.
That probably goes for everyone, and like that, you can get away with some really awesome stuff for super cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I'll say one thing I'm looking for that I decided I was going to be looking for was the first dramatic capture series box, the one with Megatron, Soundwave, Shockwave, and the Throne. And I'm sure it will be there. Multiple vendors will likely have it. I'm looking for the best price on it. That's more what I'm after. You know what I mean? I'm like, I know I can get it there, so who's got it for the cheapest? Are there any deals to be had? Right? Yeah, as soon as I said that, I'm like, I know Mr. Magnus has that. He's going to bring it out. Yeah.
There we go. There we
Of
go.
course he does. Yeah, the Decepticon Nemesis Bridge. So I guarantee that will be there. I'm looking for what the best deal is I can get on that.
So Professor D says, I just recently learned how to custom engrave emboss metal coins. So maybe for next year, we'll have custom coins with our logo.
Ooh, that's
Very cool. Which Spin already has the logo. I just need to get the coins from Magnus.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, let me just quickly share this of the fantasy gallery.
Ooh. Oh, those are some nice looking old style like fantasy paintings. In the olden times, a photo was a painting.
Thanks for clearing that up, Anthony.
So what I said was true
In the olden
and
times,
accurate.
a record was an LP, just long play.
In even older times, a record was when you recorded something in a book for posterity.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, what do you got there? Oh yeah, Transformers Universe. Oh yeah, so if you were going to get Bob Budiansky to sign anything, that would probably be the most important thing because sure, he wrote like the first 2/3 of the Marvel comics, but like him writing the character profiles for the original cast for most of the Transformers line, that's probably the thing he did that lasted the longest, and that's what's in those books. So him signing the universe things, yeah.
Yeah, I had him sign the movie poster. What do I got? I got Stan Bush on the movie poster, Bob Budiansky, Victor Corelli twice,
Mm-hmm.
Dan Gilvezan. I was going to get Peter Cullen and Frank Welker when they came down to MegaCon, but holy crap, dude! I had to wait in line for Carrie Elwes' autograph for my Days of Thunder stuff for like, I don't know, what was like 5 hours.
Yeah,
I couldn't stand anymore to wait through any more lines.
Yeah, it was but the way you described it to us, that was such a unique thing, and I think that was worth it.
Magnus, what do you have?
Larry Elmore drew the painting for this. This is Sky and Kitiara from the Dragonlance. That this was molded from. This is pewter. This thing's about 2.5 pounds.
Jeez.
It used to have a great big dragon lance out here, but it's gone. It didn't survive the 30 moves that I've had since I was a teenager.
I just opened the
And then
box.
there's-
Oh, there we go. Oh, there you go. Bob Budiansky signed that, eh? That's
Yeah.
already like the ideal thing for him to sign.
Mhm.
Right. So this was in TFcon, in BotCon 2010, and I just took him aside and I got him. I kept pulling comics out of my bag and I'm like, sign this one, sign this one, sign this
Oh,
one.
jeez. How was he about that?
He was like, keep them coming. I was the only one there. I was just chilling with him. I must have spent an hour with him. We were just chilling, talking about nothing, and like I just kept
nice.
handing him comics.
I don't know if you can
Far out.
see that
Yeah.
plate. This is numbered. There was only 5,000 of them made, and Larry made sure that I got one. This one's numbered 2,344
Nice.
of 5,000.
Sick.
Mhm.
And he and Keith Parkinson worked on this one together.
Hmm?
Who was one of the other artists for Dragonlance.
Ooh, Shiba Kobe says, howdy, gang. Howdy, Shiba. And also says, record fast Costco run.
Nice.
Shiba Kobe, organic transformer. I read the story that you posted today. It was pretty good. It was lengthy, but it was good. I highly enjoyed it. Thank you for posting it. She does some Transformers fanfic.
Mm-hmm.
We'll feature some more of that on here when we get a chance to. I guess for the tentative event schedule for TFcon Toronto, have we? Oh, Kitty's got something here.
Oh, issue 1. There you go.
There you go.
Is that one signed?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you should have thrown that. You should. I would have paid for you to throw that in the box with Jetfire.
Now, have we I guess gone through everything for the Friday?
Yeah, I will say, I don't know who the customization class thing is yet. They always reveal that super late. I've never in my life participated in one of these classes because we don't find out who it is until really late. And I'm always like, oh, I wish I'd done that this year. But we never know who it is.
Actually, I'm going to throw to you here.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of us setting up on Friday, what time are we allowed to go in?
Oh, gosh, I'd need to check that. They haven't told me yet, but it's the same time but it's usually the same time as previous years. So I can just do a quick hunt through my inbox and see what it says for
Nice.
last year.
And Shiba Komi says the organic transformer bit works a little like Godmaster Force Pretenders.
Okay. Yeah, cool.
And also says, though, to be fair, the concept emerged before I knew of Pretenders, Japanese or otherwise.
Awesome. I got something to read tonight. Also, issue number 9 of the Skybound Comics was released recently. Is that true?
Yeah.
Sweet. That too I have to read.
And speaking of stuff being released this week, the Hasbro channel released what was in theaters a couple of months ago with the Transformers and the voice actor reading.
Mm-hmm.
It's now just available on YouTube.
Yeah, I figured that would happen. That's cool.
Well,
that's good.
To be
I'm
fair,
glad.
like, where else could they? Is it going to be something that we only saw in theaters for 2 days? Where else could they have released it in that format?
Well, I'm glad everyone can enjoy it now because like it didn't get released in every city. Even James was telling me it didn't come out in Windsor, so that's good. That's good they released it. It was worth seeing. Like just the event of going there with you guys, like that was totally worth it. Yeah.
Yeah, mind you, I wasn't complaining. I'm just saying that it's up for everyone to see. I wasn't saying that. Oh, I am mad because I paid money to go see it. Now it's on YouTube. No.
Yeah.
No, just letting everybody know. Yeah, it was a very cool event too, man. I mean, the couple of times that I've gone to see the original G1 when like Fathom Events or something brings it back, it's always just this huge camaraderie thing. I mean, the first time I went, I kind of figured I'd be the only one there. And then the theater ended up being packed. I was pretty happy.
Yeah.
I would say whoever works in Hasbro, they do a good job in terms of being strategic with the information they hold back. The fact that like those first 4 episodes just quietly disappeared from the YouTube channel, but there was never a mention of it being in the theaters. Which then reminds me of, like, you know, not giving out the plot or certain things when they introduced the 86 movie. So, you know, as children, all of us are like, oh, you know, Ultra Magnus is going to be alongside you know, Optimus Prime, and this Galvatron guy will be alongside Megatron. You know, little did we know what was going to happen, but they kept the lid on that.
Speaking of the 86 movie, I saw in one of the groups today, somebody found a pre-release VHS copy of the 86 movie. Okay. So it's without packaging. It just has like your basic, like 80s plastic case, like clamshell case for the video cassette. It's labeled Transformers, but it's not like, you know, it doesn't have any illustrations or anything on it. The guy has it on eBay if you want to buy it. It is $750,000.
Jesus.
No joke.
Holy cow.
Oh, by the way, just to really quickly circle back, I found the answer to when dealers can set up. Probably last year, you could get in at 2 p.m. to start your setup, and the room would be closed at 7 p.m. You could still set up after that; it just locks behind you. So tentatively, that's probably the same this year because it usually is. Just put a little asterisk beside that in case they tell us something different this time. But it's probably 2 p.m. because that's what it was in 2023.
Got it.
Also, I saw that Thunderwing.
This is a Czech comic. I was in Europe.
One of those weird European ones, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like I don't even know what language this is, but I'm buying this. I also got one, issue number 50, which is the one with that huge star screen on the front. Here it is. And this one's also Czechoslovak. This is my Canadian one that's signed. And this is also another Czech version. I'm like, what in the world? I love picking up obscure Transformer stuff. Like if it's the weirdest thing, that's what I would prefer buying. So that's kind of strange stuff I'm going to get at the con this year.
The German ones, they were called Transformers Comics Magazine. Those are like well sought after by collectors because they always had the strangest covers that just didn't reflect anything that was in the issue and would just have crazy colored versions of the characters that we know. Like, you know, a gold version of Straxus would be on the cover. Straxus isn't in this issue. Just stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right, now as we go over to the Saturday of TFcon, which we will be live streaming, I believe, probably from about 2 p.m. and onward. I will release the information about that as we share it within the groups. But for the TFcon, for those attending Saturday, 8 a.m. registration, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. The South Studios open, 9 a.m. the dealer room and artist alley open to early admission and weekend pass holders.
Yeah, if you got the big pass, you can get in there.
Which Ninjatron says German Transformers comics are super weird.
They are. They're digests that'll have a bunch of random issues of the American comic, plus a bunch of prose stories that, you know, they're in German, but the wiki's got them translated, and then just really strange psychedelic covers. I know that's like a popular thing for comic collectors to grab because of it.
Cool. And 9 a.m. Gary Chalk, Ian James Corlett, Terry McGovern, Victor Corelli, Stan Bush, Bob Bubiniansky, Simon Furman, Aaron Archer, the Alex, how do we pronounce it? Meln, Andrew Griffith, Olivio Ramondelli, autographs all day.
Wow.
I guess that would be along in the artist alley.
Yeah, well, generally there's a separate autograph section. I don't know, we'll see. They kind of split it.
Usually it's like right as you enter the convention. So like to the right is the dealer. As you enter that hallway, there's the registration and like the security, and then to the right is the dealer room, and just to the left would be a lineup of all the signatures, I think, autograph.
Cool. And then let's see, we have 11 a.m. Transformer season G1 season 1-2 guest stars hosted by Jim Sorensen.
Yeah, I can speak to that. Jim Sorensen is one of those like super fans that's assembled several official like guidebooks. He did the Art of Transformers. He did the Arc, which is like the collection of all the character models. He wrote a few stories for the Collectors Club. He's one of those Chris McFeely type guys that just like knows everything.
Right.
So I'm not sure what this panel is about, but it's probably going to be something weird and interesting. I'm curious about what it is about when he says guest stars, you know? He's probably talking about like all the cameos from like G.I. Joe and Hector Ramirez and Jem. Or maybe it's something else. I don't know. That's a bit obvious. I feel like it's going to be something weird and obscure with him.
Actually, when you mentioned Jem, old friend of mine who's actually she used to be an MC and also a bike courier. She is a huge Jem fan. And she mentioned the name. I don't recall the name, but essentially the Hasbro hired this person to do to Jem exactly what Bob Budiansky did for Transformers. And that's create the characters, bios, and personalities and everything for all of the Jem characters.
Cool.
Yeah, so I wonder who that is, because that's the exact same kind of important universe creator type role.
Well, Flint Dille probably had a huge hand in that show, right?
Yeah, he tended to be involved in all of these.
Yeah. So that would probably fall on Dille from the get go, because he was he was the driving force behind Bigfoot, Robotics, and Jem, and then Jem was the only one of those three because they all shared like a half hour or an hour block, and Jem was the only one that went on to have their own cartoon a year later. So whatever that was probably Flint Dille.
But Ninjatron says, pretty sure that Christy Marks was the creative mind behind Jem.
That sounds right. I've heard that name before.
Yeah, that may have been the name that my friend had mentioned. But I mean, it's possible they all tied in together since. All the shows did come out within that same time.
James concurs.
Also the fact that it's like, you had a certain reporter character type character that was shared between all the TV shows.
Yeah.
Like the Geraldo type character.
Yeah, Hector Ramirez was the guy's name. Ooh,
yes.
I like that cover. It's all the Unicron cosplayers jumping them.
Yeah, they're like the Unicron cult. And this one I got signed by Simon Furman. Yeah, this was in 2011. And also, I want to show off something I got in 2011. 2011 was an amazing year. That was a magical year. Every year is magical, but 2011 was great. This is the year I actually met James, and he gave me this piece of artwork. And I wanted to just mention that TFcon for me is about the people and meeting people and making new friends and getting close connections. And this year especially is really important for me, because I lost a good friend that I met through TFcon this past year. I was really looking forward to spending this year with him, but instead we're going to have a little memorial for him. But, so getting to know people and sharing the appreciation of Transformers is the really coolest thing. I remember going to BotCon where I didn't expect to run into anyone, and I met so many people from TFcon. I was like, hey, I remember seeing you in Mississauga, and we were like friends from a long time. Like it's really great to make these connections. It's not just merchandising. It's really a lot about the friendships.
I agree. I got some internet people I don't see in person too often, aside from you guys, that I'm looking forward to running into while I'm there.
Professor D says, hey, Micah just did our new segment.
Oh.
So the opposite of the Murder Prime segment.
Yeah.
What's the equivalent of like the G1 basketball playing Optimus Prime segment? Because it's like that kind of vibe.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Yeah.
The compute quickly segment.
Yep.
Yeah.
The heroic stoic speech. Let's see, what else do we have from for the Saturdays for Saturday at TFcon?
Yeah. Oh, okay. So if you scroll back up a little bit, just because you passed right over it, the freaking Budiansky Furman panel at noon. I gotta go see that one for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because, like I said, I've been in this book club where over the last couple of years, I've been reading basically every Transformers comic existed. So like the Marvel runs are pretty fresh in my head. So like I wanna see that panel with the two of those guys.
Yeah, the Marvel comic run is like my foundation of Transformers lore. I love that whole side of the Transformers lore. Yeah, it's a little bit obscure, it's a little bit strange, but so is a cartoon. So pick your poison.
The comics are the Greek texts because they technically came first, so it all originates from there.
Right.
Well, Professor D says, I guess the segments will be called "It's the Give It Up Prime Vibe." Our new segment is called "The Gracious Prime Moment."
Yeah.
This is another fun thing about TFcon is the hotel gets involved. One of the TFcon staff was working at the hotel, and this is the bar menu. So I like to keep the bar menus, but this one in particular seems like I was drinking with Wally Burr. I can't believe that. And look at him drinking so much, he signed the back too. So that's the fun times I love having at TFcon. It's just like chilling and having a drink after the con with the guests or with the attendees, just like talking about stuff and having a good time. Yeah, so that was a really good memory. I got to spend some time with Wally Burr. I really idolize the guy. He's really, really cool guy. Yeah, a lot of fun stories about him.
Well, I guess for everyone in the comments and for you guys, what fun things have you had for like any conventions that you've gone to?
What fun things?
Mm-hmm. Well, similar to the Deceptikitty's experience.
I won big one year during the game show. It was I think they were doing Wheel of Fortune, which I think they're still doing, was the thing they did that time. And I won a big thing of free bots because when I did my round, I just did really well. I remember the winning word that you had to enter, because this was Wheel of Fortune, was fight super robot life form transformers victory. And I pinged it, and before anybody else did, and I was like, yeah, that was fun.
Yeah,
I've never been to a TFcon, so is there cosplay going on there?
Yeah, in fact, they mention it here on the schedule.
Is
there
there
a costume
cosplay
contest
competition?
too? Yeah,
there is. I used to cosplay like way back in the day before anyone else was cosplaying. I dressed up as Dr. Arkeville, and then I got into a segment on our space channel over here because of it.
Oh, nice.
They at the cons around here, they usually have things called con bucks, and they're either coins or they're tickets and everything, and they'll have a dollar amount on them, and they're as good as cash in the vendors' rooms. And the year at OMG Con in Owensboro, when I was walking around in my Optimus Prime costume, one of the guys that was running the con, it's how I got to know them all, come walking up to me because I don't have a lot of peripheral vision because of the stacks and everything, and my head doesn't turn that much in it. And he come up and he tapped me on the arm, and I turned towards him and he goes, "Dude, I just want to say this is fantastic." And he shook my hand, and I felt something in my hand when he did like that, and I brought it up like that, and I looked at it and I took it and I handed it to my girlfriend at the time. Like that, I said, "Put that in your pocket. We're going to spend it later." It was 1,000 con bucks.
Wow.
Jeez.
But
holy cow. That's awesome. Yeah, you mentioned that before. That's a great concept to have con bucks to share around. We don't have that at TFcon. That's a good idea.
we got to give them out when we did our panel. We got, I think it was $30 or $40 worth of con bucks. It was a few singles, a 5, a 10, and a 20. And then at the end of it, you can ask questions, and if people are participating, then you give them con bucks.
Yeah.
And that's what we did. We asked questions about the thing that we were doing. and over the topics we discussed. And then for the big one, the $20 one at the end of it, I said I said it a few times. What was my first Transformer? Like that, and everybody was going, "Oh gosh, he did! He said it! He said." And one girl jumped up and she said, "It's right there behind you! It's that Optimus Prime." I said, "That wasn't my first. That wasn't my first. Which was my first one?" Like that, and so my fiance is sitting there recording. She goes, "Can I answer?" I said, "Well, since nobody else is going to, I guess you can." It was Skywarp, but yeah, baby, go buy some snack.
Ninja Tron says, I also hung out with Wally Burr and he talked to me about famous animators he personally knew.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Spending time with Oliver. So,
if you want to. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying that's awesome, Ninja Tron. I got to spend some time with Wally Burr too. That's great.
And Professor D says, if you want to be fancy, yeah, this is better. Let's agree we can add to our segment repertoire the Magnus moment. People can look up magnanimous, and it's the right word.
Magnanimous.
Pandemonium. And let's see, what else do we have for the Saturday? Actually, hold on. Before we go to that, Toy Warp, favorite moment at any convention?
You've had a few.
Transformers related. I think it was last year at TFcon. Which, yeah, if you see your TF guy, tell him to bring the stuff back to Orlando, man. Y'all are, talking about this and happy. Go see it, and we got it taken away from Orlando. I guess it's the Baltimore date this year. But no, last year I went to this thing called HeroCon that Victor Corelli was supposed to be at. His plane was delayed, so he wasn't able to make it. And the guy that ran the con, I talked to him, and he said, he made it sound like Victor Corelli had one foot in the grave. Like he said, he can only sign so many things a day, and he doesn't get around very well. I mean, he really made it sound like he was old and feeble. And then at TFCon, met him, and the guy was just a ball of energy. I mean, the guy wouldn't sit down. He covered more ground at TFCon, I think, than I did. It was wild, the amount of energy and enthusiasm he had. It was great to see, and just totally blew my mind from what I was expecting from this guy, put into my head that, he was an old guy who was basically feeble. It was fantastic.
That's so awesome.
I do have one more. The first year that I wore that costume, the one that I actually made it for the competition, the cosplaying on a budget, when I had the full legs and everything on. Like I said, walking around, I'm so broad in it, because I can't bring my shoulders in, and everything. So I'm walking around basically like 3.5 feet wide, and we're walking around waiting for things to start up. And a lot of other people are in costume. We were looking through the artist gallery, and I'm walking down through there, and somebody bumped into me from behind, like that. And I don't know if you all know who Kefka Palazzo is from Final Fantasy. I believe he's one of the bad guys, but this guy's cosplay was phenomenal. I mean, he looked like he walked off of the screen, like that. And the character's very foppish, and I hear this, "Excuse me," like that, and I turn, and he turns, and he goes, "Excuse me, my good truck."
That's funny.
Yeah, first that,
He just took me in up and down. Truck.
so yeah, first
Not good, sir. Good, madam. That's
My good truck.
Yeah, first what you said is something bumped into you behind, you wearing the Optimus outfit. I was going to say it was the trailer.
Wouldn't it be funny if you're in line dressed as Prime and somebody dressed as the trailer just bumps into you?
That would be pretty awesome if I had.
It would be like
else.
the two people doing the horse costume type thing, but it's Optimus in the trailer.
That would be funny. Just one person dressed up at the trailer, and then the trailer just like runs down the hallway.
Yeah.
and then
runs down the hallway.
disappears.
Subspace pocket. Subspace pocket.
Where is it? Where is it?
That'd be a good joke to do for like, because they'll do costume contests, and sometimes people will make builds that can transform. So somebody does an Optimus costume, and like stands up and transforms, and just turns and looks at the trailer, and the trailer's just like, oh shit, and then just like runs out of the room.
Yeah.
Well,
We
I
have
think-
some great costumes at TFcon. So there's one friend of mine, I forget what state she's from, but she crosses the border to come to TFcon, and she's won a couple of years, a few years in a row. She's always expected to win because her costume is so good. That's what she does. Is like she makes like costumes and props and prosthetics and things like that. She's incredibly talented. And I remember one year we were just kind of bored and we were sitting in the lobby with some downtime. And she busts out this pen and paper. She's like, hey guys, I wrote a role play game of Transformers. And it was me, General Techno, Mike was there, my friend from New Jersey, her, Megan, and Mel. Yeah, and it was just the coolest thing. I've never played a role play game before. It was like D&D but Transformers, and I got to be my own OC, and like someone was Lugnut. Oh yeah. General Techno was Lugnut. We were like trapped in like this alien spacecraft, like a lot like Alien, and like there was this entity going around, and so much fun, so much different things you can experience at TFcon. Like people bring all kinds of cool stuff in from all over.
My favorite moment that's not TF related was actually when I met Carrie O was at MegaCon last year. Everyone else that was there for Princess Bride stuff. I think me and one other person in that 5-hour line were the only people there for Days of Thunder stuff. But when I got up to him, and when he asked me what I wanted him to sign, I brought up the big box of the slot car set that I got, and he just kind of stopped. He goes, "Wait a minute." First he went, "Who did I play in that again?" "Oh yeah, Russ Wheeler." And then he looks at it again. He's like, "I've never seen this before. I never knew this existed." I'm like, wait, hold on. I got another one. I brought out the Matchbox set, right? He is so fascinated by it that he takes out his own personal phone and is taking pictures. And I was like, well, I've got reviews of them on my channel, on my YouTube channel. He goes, what's your YouTube channel? I got to tell him, Toy War Vintage Reviews, and I got to direct him to the Days of Thunder stuff. So yeah, it's really, really cool. Usually, when you're around celebrities, it's the other people trying to get their phones out. He's trying to get his phone out to get pictures of my Days of Thunder stuff because he had never seen it before.
That's dope. I love it when they're interested in the topic as well.
Yeah.
Instead of just being like, yeah, it was a job I did.
I like the double hit of like he had to draw out who he played in that, and then also that it was still there in the back of his head.
When I met Peter Cullen and I brought out that boxed Optimus Prime, and of course, I've had it since the beginning. The front end of it's there's no cardboard on one end of it. The styrofoam's all chewed up from where I've slid it in and out as a kid because that was the garage. When I was done playing with it, it went back in the box, and I pulled it out and handed it to him, and he went, "Oh, this has been loved."
I can just hear the voice too, the way you said it.
And that's it. Him and Frank both kind of kicked into that voice. Frank did it for everybody that I watched because there was a lot of Scooby-Doo people there. There was a lot of other what were they called? God, the only thing I can think of was Laugh Olympics, but it was that whole Hanna-Barbera. There was the whole Hanna-Barbera fan base there. With all the characters that he did, the shark and everything, and the people had these pictures for him to sign, and whenever they would bring it up there to him, he would talk to them in that character's voice.
Yeah, he did the same for me. Yeah.
Nice.
And whenever I came up and I pulled those two Megatrons out, I had that one for my daughter, the 30th anniversary, and then I pulled mine out like that, and he was like, "Oh, now this is why I come to these things."
Yeah, it was great. I brought that was MegaCon 2020, I think it was, and when I had my I had my G1 Megatron for him to sign. I heard him doing the voices, but I couldn't hear for where I was sitting in line. But the person ahead of me had Slimer from Real Ghostbusters. So he did, as they walked away, he was doing Slimer from Real Ghostbusters. And then, I have him sign it and everything. And as I walk away, he does Megatron just that quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
From
as soon as he
Slimer
lays
to
eyes on it.
Megatron.
Yeah, as soon as he lays eyes on it, he just clicks.
Yep.
I'm there.
It's
But
pretty
5,000
amazing.
voices, I got them all. Yeah, that Fanboy Expo was pretty cool, and it was just autographs. I mean, they had a vendor room, but I mean, there was like 6 booths there. It was just for going in and getting autographs. And your boy was there. The Sergeant Slaughter was there.
Not far out.
There was a bunch of wrestlers there. Jake the Snake was there.
Nice.
Some big blonde-headed dude. I don't watch wrestling, so I don't know who that. I knew who Jake the Snake was, and I knew who Sergeant Slaughter was. But that was the last con that I saw. Oh gosh, I'm drawing a complete blank. David, the Green Power Ranger.
Jason David Frank.
Yes. The next weekend was when he committed suicide.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, he was right beside Frank. His line was by far the longest of anything there.
Mm-hmm.
The Power Ranger guy. That's why I was just shocked, over what it was. The things that happened. Yeah, those 2 guys were there. The actor that plays Willow, the midget.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just all autograph sessions.
That is a lot like what MegaCon is. I think that's okay. MegaCon starts down here at the beginning of the year as MegaCon, but when it goes other places, it's called Fan Expo.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
that's what this was
Really?
called, Fanboy Expo. Fanboy Expo.
Yeah.
But they call this one MegaCon because man, they just get everybody. I mean, at this last one, along with Kara was, and all the autographs I got, Peter and Frank Welker, they had like Gina Carano, they had like the entire cast of Back to the Future. I mean, it was nuts, man. I mean, like, everybody was there. As a matter of fact, I literally bumped into Leah Thompson. Like I was standing in line for Carriowas, and I'm on the very edge of the line, and I'm really cramped in the line, so I'm holding the slot car box, right side up like this because I'm so cramped in the line. And somebody brushes my shoulder, and I look like complete retard, like. I know you, and it didn't click. It didn't click until she says, "Oh God, I'm so sorry," and then turned around, and kept walking fast, and she had this entourage behind her, and I'm like, "Who? Oh crap!"
The brain fart.
Yes. It's just you weren't expecting to physically run into a celebrity, but it happens at MegaCon, I guess.
Oh, that's awesome.
God, there were so many people there, man. They had most of the cast from the new One Piece off of Netflix. They had Giancarlo Esposito. God, it was just massive. So I know what you mean when they had like 6 booths over here, and you go in for the autographs. Yeah, it was a lot like that. There, because the place is so big, they did have a lot more booths than 6 booths. But the main focus there is meeting the celebrities.
Professor D says, "No, not me. Most magnanimous.
Most magnanimous.
Don't worry. I don't understand
No, not
You rehearsed
me, most magnanimous. The word is magnanimous.
We rehearsed it 5 times. Funny, I don't remember being there for that.
That's it. I wanted to mention about Frank Welker's voice, that he's still got it. Like he just jumps into it. I think that's really amazing. Peter Collins, same thing.
Mhm.
Because when I met Greg Berger last time, unfortunately his voice, even his regular voice, was a little bit hoarse. Like, okay, he was talking all day, but he was not into going into the characters' voices. Like at this point in his career, he's just like, And I'm not doing those voices anymore. Grimlock is tough on his voice.
Let's see, where did we leave off for the Saturday in terms of the schedule?
Well, okay, so they're doing Budiansky and Furman at noon, and in the same room they're doing Gary Chalk and Ian James Corlett. And then the next couple hours are taken up by the costume contest. And then, after that is when they have the panel with Victor Crowley and Terry McGovern. That's at 3. Now, here's the thing. Next one at 4 p.m., that's the third-party product presentation. That's a really popular thing for people to go to because they show the slides of what all the upcoming third-party stuff is. They put that online like the next day. So I've never quite gotten why everybody wants to be in that room so badly. Maybe they like the energy, but I'm always like, I'm good. I know I'm going to be able to see it like in 24 hours.
Sometimes like just being part of the experience of the announcements,
Yeah.
and like sometimes there is like something that you haven't heard before. And also like there is sometimes blurbs about like what it is and where it is in its development that you may not extract from like an online article. So for that reason, but like you sit there for a whole 50 minutes just for like the one thing you've been waiting for. But it's fun. It's fun.
I mean, from days when I was doing coverage on the video game that my channel, like that Cruisers used to be based on, it's really important to get that stuff, that information, like as soon as it comes out. It might not be a terrible idea to take a camera in there and kind of make a little video and get it up before anybody else does. Just throwing it out there.
No, good call for sure. That's definitely what I would like to do. I want to get into the panel rooms and record that and post it on the Children of Primus channel for content and to get it out there. Not just to be the first, but like, just to get some of that content out there. TFcon is a really great thing. And I would love for everyone to share it, even if they can't make it.
Which, speaking of which, we will be live streaming probably around 2 p.m. that day. So, I mean, there is the possibilities of someone going into, walking into one of those rooms while we're live streaming.
Ooh.
Or recording it afterwards.
Yeah. Scroll back up a little bit. Spin.
Oh, we're on Sunday.
A little more.
How do we get to Sunday?
Keep going.
Yeah, we're on.
Okay, yeah, it is on this one too. I was just making sure I wasn't reading ahead. So, Transformers TCG Open Play, that's trading card game.
Yeah.
Is that big in Canada? Because it flopped like hell down here.
My understanding is it's over, but the fans are still making new booster packs and new cards, so it's still going as a completely fan-run thing.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
They were playing it last year. I remember seeing them in the lobby. Evangelist was there, and it was a couple of years ago, and I'm like, what are you guys playing? It was like, oh, it's this new Transformers card game. I'm like, wow, I've never heard of it. And really, other than seeing some of the guys at the convention playing it, I haven't heard much about it at all.
Yeah, that's because, like I said, it ended, and it's just the fans that are keeping it up. So conventions are pretty much where you'd see it. My strongest memory of it is there was the period when it was new. IDW Comics issues would come with a booster pack of them sometimes, like packed in with the comic to try and push it. So I got a few from that.
I see.
I think I just gave them away to people because I was like, I don't play this. Watch me have gotten a rare that.
And now you're gonna find out that the ones that you gave away are worth a couple $100,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. What happened? What happened to that card game you were messing with, Bill? The rats got to it, or some rodents got to it, or something?
Oh, I still have it. I still have the game, but I burned over $1 million. There's not a doubt in my mind.
That hurts.
That hurts.
This set right here, it's still sitting here. I haven't put it back in the safe yet.
Pull the Joker lighting a stack of money on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's the valuable one.
For those who know that this is a beta set of Power, and that one right there in the middle
Lotus.
That's around $40,000 by itself.
That's the Black Lotus, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's like the one card I remember from like '95.
And the thing is, back in that day, nobody played ramp. Nobody played mana ramp, which is what all games are played with now. And so when we would open one, we were like, "Give me 5 more packs," and trade it right back in immediately. It was a $20 card. You got $10 worth of trade credit for it. Give me 5 more packs. I want some lands. I need me a Shivan dragon. Damn it! Take this Black Lotus. And give me a quarter Shivan fucking dragon so I can beat your ass into the ground. And now, yeah, if only I knew then what I know now.
Mhm.
Man.
Let's see, what else do we have for the Saturday before we jump over to the Sunday?
Panel with Transformers the movie? Wow,
With Stan Bush.
Yeah, that's going to be so much fun. Yeah. I wonder if we're going to be going through the movie or is it just going to be talking about the movie? Because once we did a panel with Flint Dilley and we watched the movie and he would like pause it and he would talk about it.
Yeah.
And, like, we would ask
Now,
questions.
here's something really interesting there. There's a thing that says 8 p.m. and at 8 p.m. and it just says movie screening TBA. It doesn't say what the movie is. Was it the 86 one? Because they've shown it there before. Is it something else? They're allotting it 2 hours because it's 8 to 10.
No, they couldn't be doing TF1.
There's no possible way, is there?
No.
The TFcon's not like official. They don't get official things the way like even BotCon just did.
True.
It can't be.
Do me a favor, just go, just in case.
Yeah, I might poke my head in and see what it is. Look. It's like a Schrodinger's cat thing. If I put my head in there, it's going to be something else. If I don't put my head in that room, they're going to screen TF1.
Yep.
That's exactly how it is.
Yep.
All right.
Before that, script reading, that's always fun with the voice actors. Yeah. Like, that's always a good time.
Okay, Wheel of TFcon game show. It is at 10 freaking p.m.
Yeah.
I will go up. I love taking part in that because I can win things and I have won things. But I'm going to say this. I don't really do late night TFcon stuff because I am consistently dead by the end of the day. Mm-hmm. I would love to like go meet people at the bar into the wee hours of the morning, but I'm already like barely conscious by 10 p.m. So the idea of trying to take part in the game show, if I'm up for it, yes, but I feel like I'm not going to be up for it at that point because I know my own energy levels.
And Ninjatron says the Slurpee run is probably going to be happening around the 7:30, 8 p.m. time.
Oh boy. I hope they're back in time for the movie that is totally not Transformers 1. I don't want to start that rumor. I should phrase that differently.
The Great Canadian Slurpee Run is a yearly tradition where we make a pilgrimage from the Hilton Hotel all the way up to 7-Eleven to grab a Slurpee. This is an age-old tradition that we started because our friend Goober is from Quebec. And in Quebec, they don't have Slurpees. They have like slush puppies and slushies, but they don't have Slurpees. So in order to get his fix, we would take a trip to 7-Eleven and get him a Slurpee every TFcon. And it just became a thing where like more and more people join the Slurpee run and more people join the Slurpee run. And it's like a schedule thing.
Well, Ninjatron, I don't expect we'll be back in time.
Oh, you better hope they're not screening Transformers 1.
Somehow I'm mentally thinking, how can we just share this around for the next week of like this ominous, what's happening in that 2-hour slot? Is it TF1 or is it not?
Yeah, mysterious.
I don't want to get I don't see how would that happen? It can't be. I don't want to. Because they don't have like a big fancy screening room. The sound quality is really good, but it's just like a projector screen in there, right?
Yeah.
So that's not even like the ideal environment for that sort of thing.
That, and they know like There's excuse me, at the Orlando TFcon, they had no qualms with, during the panels or whatever, people bringing in phones and recording whatever.
Oh, yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah, that's the last thing they probably want is, people bringing in phones and trying to record whole scenes and uploading it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it'd be a mess.
Oh, okay. You know what? If anything's going to put the nail in that coffin, it's that fact, because you're absolutely right. There's no way you're going to get anybody to sign NDAs like they did with that UK screening that they did too. So yeah, no, there would be mad. Somebody would be, there'd be like full movie in like 480p bootleg from the movie screen quality up on YouTube the next day. It would have my name on the bottom. No, it wouldn't.
The good old classic, somebody gets up and walks in front of the camera.
Yeah. and it's you.
Well, Ninjatron says, I don't expect we'll be watching an unreleased movie.
Yeah, I know. We're not going to be watching an unreleased movie because I'm going to look and check what it is. So the Schrodinger thing will make it not that.
So, Toy Warp, that case that I just held up here, the sale price of it right now is $103,180.
Oh.
Now, these are the betas. These are the second series. The first series, which is what I burned, the one in the black, is $59,000 by itself, and I burned no less than 3 of them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Man, Bill, when I brought that up, I didn't mean to, drag out any PTSD for you.
I just have to.
He laughs to hide the pain.
It's not money I knew I had.
Oh man.
It was just a poor investment. I invested it in the heat of the barn.
You invested in warmth.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. They did their job. They lit on fire. Yeah, if you could time travel back to that point, just to that one point, and go, don't do it.
Is that the one thing you do if you got one shot at that?
If all I could do is go back and say one sentence, it would be at that point.
Don't burn the cards, and then you're a little bit too early, so you spend a chunk of your life wondering what you were trying to warn yourself about.
Yeah.
Speaking of going back in time, some scientists just found out that as you go back in time, time actually moves slower. So when we get older, we say, oh, time sure flies, doesn't it? Well, as a matter of fact, because of spatial dilation, time does move faster as we get older, interesting enough. So don't waste your time. Go to TFcon.
Oh, that was smooth.
That was smooth.
That was smooth. Now over to Sunday. We have the attendee registration at 9. The card play at 9. The dealer room opens at 10, and 10 a.m. is also the autographs in the artist alley. But at 10 a.m. at TFcon on Sunday, one of our members, DECEPTIKITTY, will be hosting a panel. As says, panel Mystery of Convoy video game breakdown, hosted by Children of Primus, aka DECEPTIKITTY. So what can you tell us about what we'll be expecting on Sunday? But don't give them too much details because they have to come check it out. Your mic is muted. Oh no. And you can't do that when you're in the panel.
You can't tell us.
Okay, I'm not going to reveal too much, but I do have a lot of material that I could use for this panel. So I want to talk a little bit how I've reverse engineered the game. So I've decompiled this entire Famicom game so that I could edit it and tear it down and find all the good hidden stuff that weren't actually in the final cut. And I want to talk a little bit about that and what I found in the process of that, just the research and there's a lot of information that goes along with that. Like there's side stories, and so at that point, after I've discussed like what I've done to get my understanding of the coding itself, we could talk more about like the development of the game and the future of the next stage in actually reprogramming this game so that we could play it on Western consoles. Yeah, so a lot of information, but it's going to be cut down into 50 minutes.
Cool. RJ Eagle says, nice segue. Don't waste your time. Go to TFcon. Nice one. And
Thanks, RJ.
SETTOM says, Sleepily waves hello.
Hi, Box Art. Why are you so sleepy?
Box art. That's an interesting way of phrasing it. That's actually good. That's actually a good way.
That's when I read it. That when the first time I read his name, SETTOM Box Art, I'm like, what is that a reference to? Box, like what's Box Art, right? So I didn't realize that was his last name. And it was like
the kind of weird looking but compelling watercolor paintings on the sides of old Transformers boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. I love box art.
Mm-hmm.
So now to tie in with the video game, what we're also going to have is a playable video game console at TFcon. And I'm going to be creating a blog post at some point, the construction of this mini arcade console, which I was working on it yesterday. Those are the wooden pieces that I've cut out so far to build the console. So, there'll be a sanding, assembling, painting, and everything happening all this week. And then we'll assemble it all on Friday, and it will be ready for everyone to play throughout the weekend.
Mm-hmm. I'm really happy because they didn't let us. We didn't necessarily have a choice of what time it was. I'm glad that it's at 10 on Sunday because it means people can come and play after the panel too.
Oh, yeah, that's perfect. That's totally perfect. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else do we have happening on the Sunday?
Oh, Aaron Archer's doing a panel at noon. Okay, so see that might be interesting because he might run through like Armada start to finish again. I it was really interesting last time I saw it. Mm-hmm. So if you're like a toy development guy, even if you don't know Armada, like it's very interesting to hear him talk about this stuff.
Mm-hmm. I've been to several of his panels, and it's always new information. It's so cool. This guy is full of so much information. You think it's gonna end, but he's limitless. It's so cool. Mm-hmm. So cool. Can't wait to see that one.
Yeah. Before we mention 1 p.m., everyone watching, please like the video. And add your comments in. Let us know if you're coming to TFcon, which I remember many people, like for instance the Starscream lady. They came down from Nova Scotia last year, and someone else had mentioned in one of the groups that they're from tomorrow they're flying out to come to TFcon. Actually, Owen from which group is it? It is Transformers Pop Culture Community, one of the Facebook groups. So he says that he will be there and he's flying out tomorrow. So and anyone that's coming in from out of town, in town, come check us out while we're there for the weekend. 1 p.m. we have the fandom history, deep diving Transformers news of 2003, hosted by Chris.
Yeah, it's Vangelis again. Yeah, it's this thing he's been doing where he's been like looking at the top stories of each year just for like nostalgia purposes.
They're so much fun to watch. Like the nostalgia is so incredible. I didn't even realize how much I missed 2003.
Cool. What do we have for 2 p.m.? The history behind G2.
Yeah, hosted by Dylan G is the alias of the man called Ninjatron.
Mr. Ninjatron.
Yeah. And let me just say, like, I'm on record. I love Generation 2 because that's when I first came into Transformers. So that intrigues me as a panel, right?
Yeah.
I would love to. I hope they show some clips from the cut up CGI interstitial version of the G1 cartoon that I watched because I'm like, that was my version of Sunbow, right? Mm-hmm. With all the distracting CGI scene transitions. That was just normal for me.
And At 3 p.m., Traveling as a Transformers Fan, hosted by our friend Goober.
Mhm.
Yeah. All about traveling, dude. Goober's travels has really inspired me a lot in my life. I remember when I met Goober so long ago at TFcon, he was just starting his adventures and never met anybody like him. And yeah, definitely opened my mind to different cultures and things that's going on in the world. Very, very cool. Can't wait to see this panel.
Cool. Which, Ninjatron says, for sure, we are going to watch that stupid G2 TV show.
Yes, yes, good. Hey, it's wasn't stupid to me when I was like 5.
Honestly, it wasn't stupid to me either because since G1 had been off the air for so long where I lived,
Yeah.
it was great to see it again.
Yeah, I never thought about that because if you watched G1 and then you were still into it in the 90s, like you got a chance to watch it all on TV again, basically.
I was spoiled. My grandma, before G2, my grandmother got a full set of the VHS recordings of the Transformers episodes, all of the episodes, and including commercials and some of the Japanese episodes. So I was watching those.
Do you still have that?
G2. I do have a lot of those cassettes. A couple have been lost. Like tape number 1, it's like a set of 11 tapes. Like tape number 1 is lost. The tape with the commercials and Scramble City is lost. So yeah, I do have the original broadcast recordings for a lot of season 2, all of season 3.
Oh, I'd be really interested in seeing that. Really interested.
Okay, so my plan was, I remember when we started humoring the idea of doing live streaming and watch parties, my plan, like the only thing I had in mind was to share these VHS tapes because I have a VHS tape, I have a capture card. I wanted to just watch these broadcast episodes with everyone. And yeah, so that'd
commercials
be
and everything.
With commercials and everything, like for real bumpers, and it's like it'll bring you back to '84.
Having those commercials for the old toys that I do reviews on would be just golden.
A lot of the original commercials were cut out unless there was a Transformers commercial in that segment. But some of the commercials are there. Sometimes they forgot to hit pause during the recording.
Shiva Kobe says, hey, if it weren't for G2, I would not have found out the name of the episode Triple Takeover in the first half of the episode until Hasbro Pulse put it on YouTube.
Interesting.
And Mr. Stephen Bach says, Bach is a German last name, can mean he-goat, stag, horned male animal in general, is also a type of alcohol developed by German monks.
It's a hell of an entomology.
Yeah, it's like a minotaur.
So he's probably tired from the start on when errands and recent AC has died, and I have a portable AC in my room.
Oh boy!
Yeah,
I hope you just live in front of that.
The temperatures around here have been storing as well for now that we've hit the summer season.
Yeah, this is the time of year where I am very grateful to live in the basement half of a house and with a floor that's mostly tiles as well. So I'm like, this is as cool of an environment pre-AC as I can exist in.
RJ Eagle says, so for G2, we're talking about the one with the cybernetic cube and the kid, which I believe his name was Tommy, and he would sit on Power Master Prime's shoulder.
Yeah, those are two separate things, I think, right?
Yeah, so Tommy Kennedy and Power Master Optimus Prime, that was basically season 5 of the show because it was aired, like a year after season 4, and it was a set of reruns where Optimus was like introducing the episodes. And then Generation 2 was the version they showed in the early 90s. They didn't have any of that, but they had the Cybernet Space Cube, which was this big CGI thing that was showing us the episodes. And so the scene transition would be like flipping from one screen to another on the inside of the cube and stuff like that.
Stephen Bach says, horned, not horny animal, but Ninjatron says there was a cube, but not a kid. All will be explained.
Yeah, I should save it for him to explain it.
Well, I do recall from when it was the G2 era, and the only thing that I found a bit interesting was the selection of episodes where they showed, I believe, the first 4 or 5 episodes of G1, or sorry, season 1, and I think 1 or 2 other episodes. Then they completely skipped season 2. Then they showed the movie, and then there was a few episodes of season 3, like the one with Daniel's Nightmare, and I think one other one. As I found it odd that they had picked those episodes to rerun.
Yeah, the 90s ones, the G2 ones were interesting because they were trying to promote whichever toys were there. So, like, the first season of the show, they did, like, the opening episodes, but, like, they also did, like, the Golden Lagoon in the first season because Beachcomber had a toy in the first year of G2. So they wanted to put his episode there. And the show's very long second season was, like, a mixture of season 1 and 2 episodes. And then they didn't air the movie, but they threw in a couple season 3 episodes in there with no context. And I remember as a kid actually being like, you know, who are all these people suddenly? They didn't explain any of it.
Yeah.
Like one of them was Starscream's Ghost. That was one of the ones they aired. So I was like, oh, okay. Obviously he died between episodes and is a ghost now. So I get that. But I don't understand who any of these other characters are. But it's okay because they weren't there next episode anyway. Yeah. It sort of made sense. Listen, it sort of made sense because Starscream's Ghost ends with him coming back to life because Unicron puts him back to life, and then he gets ejected into space. So if you're a little kid and, you know, he's alive again in the next episode, you're like, that makes sense. Yeah. It almost worked.
Almost. As we're 15 minutes away from the end of tonight's stream. One thing I've been throwing in it for a couple times is our kind of lo-fi music streams. I think it's the last one was Friday, and the other one was last week Sunday, I believe, and it was just playing music and in the chat and just chatting about anything, Transformers or anything related, and just relaxing to some music. So trying something a little bit different every now and then.
Yeah, I've almost got these all priced. I've just been slowly working on that as we've been talking. This has been very productive for me over here.
Nice. Actually, the DECEPTIKITTY, the exclusive characters that are you going to have for the weekend?
Yeah. Still, everything is still in process. So I definitely have a lot of exclusive stuff that we're going to have lined up for Children of Primus table, and we've got like 5 days left. So I'm crunching to do as much as I can. I also want to bring some figures to sell, and I'm trying to conserve on space and just trying to manage everything. It's a lot. We're crunching it. 5 days left, but we're gonna have some definite exclusives. Children of Primus memorabilia, Transformers figures, keychains, necklaces, upgrade parts, all kinds of stuff. Oh, pictures posted soon.
And we're also gonna have t-shirts too. And Charlie C hiding in the comments. Hey gents.
Charlie.
Hey
Charlie. And Ninjatron says, I will have more stickers available for sale at the show, plus all the stickers from last year. Nice.
Awesome. Ninjatron stickers are so cool. This is one right here. I have one on my office computer. Looking forward to the next one.
Nice. Well, as before we round up for the evening, what's upcoming news from everyone? Mr. Magnus?
I had it brought up. It's not there anymore. Oh, right. Shipments. En route to my house this week, there are 2 Transformers Studio Series Core Decepticon Frenzies Red. Transformer Legacy Core Dinobot Scar, Core Dinobot Swoop, and G1 Triple Changer Sandstorm.
Cool.
And that's it.
Cool. Steven says, FYI, Legacy G1 Sandstorm is fun.
Yeah, I've heard.
I've heard too. It's been all over the groups.
I've seen where people are finding Swoop in stores already. The actual SS-86 Swoop has hit stores on the West Coast.
Is that right? hopefully we see that at TFcon. Yeah, I got some Masters of the Universe figures that weren't available for Ninjatron. Got to get that to him this convention.
Oh,
Who's bringing,
sorry. Go ahead.
I was rating RJ's comment. Who's bringing the Toy Hacks repro label stickers? I think it's Toy Hacks. Hopefully, it wasn't there last year. Actually, Toy Hacks wasn't there.
If you're there, I'll give you money because you're right there, and it's good for impulse purchases. Please go.
Yeah,
there's a few kids I'd get if they were there in person. I'll give you money.
Mm-hmm. I find when I'm there, I flip through and I'm like, oh, I could use this. I could use this. I could use this, exactly. And I get a bunch of insignia stickers. And when I'm looking online, it's like, oh, I gotta buy this and shipping. Yeah, no, definitely. I wish Toy Hacks was up.
Are you really good insignia stickers?
Yeah.
What'd you say? Sorry.
Every shipment that I get from Big Bad Toy Store has stickers.
Oh, really? Insignia stickers?
They're over on my work table. I'll dig them out. I'll show them to you next week. I'll send you all a couple of them. They're multiple sizes. They're from like thumbnail size down to little bitty ones.
Is that the clear sheet from Toy Hacks?
No, these are from Big Bad Toy Store.
Oh.
All this cosplay's in the way. I got to get this thing back out the barn.
So apparently, every time you buy from Big Bad Toy Store, it's kind of like buying from Summit or Jegs Racing. You spend $10,000 and you get a cool extra sticker with it.
Yeah, I can't get to it right now, but there might be some over here. Sorry, it's a sheet about 3 inches by 4 inches, and it's got probably 15 to 20 Decepticon and Autobot symbols on it.
Nice.
They're just cut out and stick on.
Oh, it's funny. Decepticon just ran away.
Can I? Oh. Yeah, hang on. I can dig him out. I can show you what they look like.
Okay, while Mr. Magnus is doing that, Deceptikitty, should we mention our sponsor?
Wait a minute. There's a lot easier one to get to. She's over here.
Oh, Deceptikitty has the stickers on the screen.
Oh, yeah. Stickers. Magnus, is this the one?
It's very similar.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
made a lot
white
of
backed. It's white backed. So
I see.
God. Let me see if I can turn my light down a little bit. Autobot. Decepticon.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
That's cool.
Yeah. Well, they're always popular because no third-party figure ever has faction symbols. So everybody that buys a lot of third-party stuff wants those specifically to stick faction symbols on the characters.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say about our sponsor. So, yeah, we do have a sponsor. I was supposed to line this up for a long time. This is going to be an ongoing sponsor for the channel. We're going to support them, and they're going to support us through comics and giveaways and Transformers memorabilia and discounts on Transformers and comic book related stuff. That we're going to get on Tuesday. They're busy in Montreal Comic Con right now. Montreal Comic Con is a huge thing. So I lined it up. Everything is good to go. Maybe we'll mention this next week, and we'll do this at the convention. I want to let I want to let everything just roll on course. I don't want to say anything out of turn.
Okay.
But yeah, our sponsor is lined up. We have a sponsor, so look forward to giveaways at the con. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. Come tell us your favorite Transformers story, and if it's the best story, we'll give you a comic book or something like that.
We'll work it out on the scene.
Yeah.
We're pretty good at winging it at this point, I'd say.
Well, tour work
From the hip.
Yep. Tour work over to you. What's coming up for the week?
Nothing important, guys. You guys enjoy TFcon. I can't wait to see the streams of it so I can watch them and be green with envy. But yeah.
Yeah, right on.
Cool.
Hope everyone can be there.
Yeah, Decepticity. What's the word for this week? This weekend coming up.
Oh, this week, and everything is TFcon. That's what my brain's on. You know, work and everyday stuff is really just. I'm just kind of like flying by because like really focused on this week happening here.
I can tell.
Yeah. Sorry. And there is the Transformers album I got, which should be coming in the mail sometime.
Nice.
Hopefully. Yeah, that G1 album, record album.
Well, RJ Eagle says, "Dang, those are cool stickers, guys. We need some of those." And Charlie C is throwing this to Mr. Magnus. Or did you get Bingo Toys Windblade?
I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, Eagle is asking, will you guys be interviewing other Transformers personality as well as Vangelis?
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, I'd love Vangelis to come and sit down and talk with us there. Yeah, absolutely be asking.
Yeah. It depends who we can get, but we're going to try. I think that's a good way to put it.
That's very true. It's a busy convention. You know, nobody's really there to spend 10, 15 minutes to sit down and talk with us. People are busy running around looking for their stuff and things are getting sold out. It's really hectic, so we will be lucky to speak with anybody, but I'm sure we'll get an opportunity at some point because like we'll be all over the con and hopefully I'll do my best to record my conversations with people, whether it's in the dealer room or the parking lot. Yeah, definitely want to get some footage and remember it because it's really important that these memories get posted online and we share it vicariously.
Exactly. And I mean, it is really busy. But I mean, we've met so many cool people that, you know, some, I believe one person last year, his first time coming to TFcon, flew in and just, you know, tracked down a bunch of characters that he was looking for. A father and daughter who did cosplay, that they were there. Another one that the lady and her boyfriend owns, actually also owns a store in the States, but she designed the apron for Grimlock, as in like, you know, kind of based from the season 3 Grimlock. And you know, and Goober and just, you know, Ninjatron, like just so many cool people we've met along the way, including Colin, you know, the man who started TFcon, for him to take a moment, sit down and, you know, explain to us where, you know, how it started and what it's evolved to.
Yeah. If Toy Hacks is there, we're going to grab Aaron from Toy Hacks and do an interview with him and talk about his history because he has a great history of Transformers as well.
There was somebody we mentioned, I think last week, who had been to the very first TFcon, and we were like, if you're there at the new one, come by, tell us, give us a first-person account of what the first TFcon was like, because I'd love to hear that myself.
Yeah, that was RJ. RJ was there.
Yeah.
Hamilton
RJ.
Back in 2003, I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I just went to my order history, and yes, I did order the Bingo Toys Windblade, but I was credited for it because my order came in too late. They had already sold the last one by the time my order came up.
Oh, nuts.
So I did not get her. That sucks. I had forgotten about that.
Thanks.
And you had to go and remind him of
it.
Nice
Thank you, Charlie.
He's having all sorts of nasty.
Just add some more to my month, huh? Why don't you just add some more to my month?
He's had some pretty bad reminders tonight.
We burned a couple $100,000 worth of cards.
Dun, dun, dun,
I lost my Windblade order, and now Large Pro's going to come in and fucking put the hammer down.
Bang! Here comes the hammer.
All right, Large Pro, you've got 7 minutes. What do you got to say within that time?
I want to say that the way you pronounce the word magnanimous is the way I just said it.
You came on to let you know about MAGNUS. Thank you for that. What is
Mr. Magnanimous Magnus?
Now you know. Yeah.
It's so our new segment. No, this is really beautiful that I'm doing this with the shining lights behind me, and I'm not angry about it like I was when I was typing. Because the word magnanimous, you know, there are there is this guy in the United States. We're not going to get political here. We really are going to rise above politics on this channel. And for a long time, I thought there's no such thing, impossible. But what people mean by rise above politics, we can do it here. We have the team. And it came together organically. I didn't plan it this way. I've been sitting here like watching, being part of this whole thing, being like, Spin, what does this have to do with our real work? You know, all angry. And I realized, no, this is exactly how we're going to get through to the whole planet and bring everybody together. And it starts with the new segment called The Most Magnanimous Moments here. No, not the most, it's the, what is it? The Magnanimous Magnus moment. And Mr. Magnus, thank you. It takes a big man to do an apology like you did earlier today, considering all the stuff you've been going through. That's what put the idea in my head. That was the Magnanimous Magnus moment. You're going through stuff, but you also realize you're like, shut it, I don't know what it is. What am I doing? That's like flying spaceship being like, I don't got time for that right now, brother. Okay, but then I was like, okay, I was a little harsh. So boom, Magnanimous Magnus moment. So real important that we get that down, that we don't only do murder primes on this channel. We love our murder primes. What's up, Mr. O? Sorry you didn't come on here and do this. But hopefully we're going to see you next week, and we are going to see the world next week. We are, a lot of, you know, look, my brothers on here, they have to be careful because of legal reasons. They don't want to say, yes, we're going to have Stan Bush on the channel. Yes, we're going to do these major interviews. It's like, yeah, look, the lawyers, da-da-da. But trust me, Children of Primus, you stay tuned. It's going to blow up. All the major things are going to happen here. Look up what the word magnanimous means and know that this is where you're going to get it. This is where you're going to heal. And this is where you're going to get your figure transforming figure finger feels. And the name of my new company is called Transformative Industries. So that's just the other part of that. We got Children of Primus. Micah's got the company coming. We got all these different companies coming together, and it's Transformative Industries. I'm going to see you all next week. Peace.
Yo, that was magnanimous.
Somebody cut his coffee off right now.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good. Thank you, Dee, for mentioning that. I am working on Deceptikitty to make sure that is prepared for things to flow at the convention, so that people are going to be asking, for example, about the game. Where can I find out more information about this? That website is going to be up and running. There's been a few hiccups that I didn't realize until I started working on it in the past week or so that needed to be addressed. So yeah, definitely getting the word out there online, dude. And that's a great idea. That's a great idea because it's about community and sharing ideas and thoughts and growing together. I think that's a really positive thing. And yeah, magnanimous, dude.
Okay, and one other thing that we said sort of implicitly across the broadcast today, but we didn't say explicitly, it was sort of like comical, but the third-party panel will be live streamed on this channel. So if anybody's watching, you guys you can't make it to the third-party panel, either because you're not in the country or because, like Anthony, you got better things to do. You can always just tune in, and I will be in that room live streaming it. And there's a number of other panels that I'm not going to be there, but one of our other members will probably live stream it as well. So any of the things, so if you go online and you're like, man, I wish I could see this part of TFcon, like you might be able to get it live streamed on this channel next weekend if you can't be there.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be awesome.
I appreciate that because I can't go to every panel. I got a table to manage.
Yeah, no, exactly. So it's like, so what we can't promise. So like if we had what I can promise for next year. No, I can't promise it because actually it's TFcon business. We're not going to. So we can't do it. I was just going to say promise every panel. This is why I can't be on here all the time because I'll just be like, here's what we're going to do. Right. But yeah, but what we could do is like, the key panels that our subscribers are most interested in, if people leave comments this week, then we can guarantee them that like the top 3. So I already said third-party panels guaranteed. So, you know what? Mr. Magnus already gave us our agenda. Because he's been to more conventions, thousands. Actually, we've all been to a lot of conventions together. But this kind of convention. So he said the opening and the ending ceremony. Like that's what's important. So we should endeavor to stream those two parts.
Opening ceremonies, from what I recall, are pretty brief, and closing ceremonies is a long Q&A session, which is fun. It is also boring, but yeah, definitely okay.
So yeah,
We'll do it. We'll do it.
Magnificent shit, because this is for our meeting after the stream. So I'm gonna be quiet now. I'm gonna just do my until all are one, and then I'll just leave it to Spin to do it for real. Over to you guys.
Well, let's see.
Anthony, after the show, I need to talk to you about something. I keep trying to call you and I don't get through. So I'm seeing you now. We gotta talk. Okay, Spin, I'm sorry. I'm muting my mic.
All right, everyone that's watching, if you're watching right now or watching later, please like the video, subscribe to our channel, share it to everyone. And before we end the evening, we'll throw it over to Fear of Courage. What do you have coming up for the week?
Oh, good, you remembered. Yeah. So I was like, oh, how am I going to get something out? It's time for a Friday review. Fortunately, my salvation came in the form of that wonderful care package from Mr. Magnus, which contained one thing that I was after, which was the lovely Origin Wheeljack, who you can see is pulling the trick that he's supposed to pull of stashing Origin Bumblebee inside him, which is wonderful. This guy will get written up eventually, but there was something else in the package that proved to be really convenient for me, which is the Battle Changers version of Rise of the Beasts Mirage, which never came out in Canada and is one of those weird novelty things that I always love because it's so interesting and unusual. It's also small and simple, so you can look forward to my thoughts on this on Friday right before the convention, because it turned out it was a quick, easy, fun thing to write up and photograph. So on childrenofprimus.com/news and reviews, this will be my next review. Origin Wheeljack will come after that. I expect I'm going to come home from TFcon with something to talk about after that. So that's what's gradually coming up on my reviews.
Nice. So as usual, I thank all of you guys for taking your Sunday evening to hang out with hang out with each other and make sure that everyone's doing okay and doing well. Thank you for everyone in the comments that also are dedicated viewers, commenters that hang out with us every week on during our stream and also after the stream. And thank you for everyone in the Facebook groups, especially that allows us to share our links and everything. Subscribe to our channel, check out all our videos coming up. And a new phrase that I've been working on, which is Children of Primus, collectors in disguise.
Collectors in disguise.
Collectors in disguise. So in that
collectors in disguise.
Till all are one.
Yeah.
All are one.
It's all I want.